Namaste. Savasana is always about finding that ease in your body so that you can allow your mind, your mental thinking to just settle into the body. See with every breath if you can soften, find more of the backside of your body into the mat. And just notice your side hip area, perhaps your side ribs. Can you feel a little more ease or a little more space as you breathe? And you may not, and it's not a problem. Just trying to create more awareness in the body. More connection for you with your own body and what your own body needs. See if you can soften at the collarbone notches. Throat soften. Your neck softens and lengthens. Base of the head is softening. Your scalp softens. Your forehead widens and softens. Your temples are softening. Space between your eyebrows softens. Eyes rest into your eye socket. Your cheeks are softening. Your jaw softens. Your chin is softening and your tongue rests into the lower palate. And then however you have settled into the pose, just notice your breath. And see if you can feel your breath into those thigh sockets. Because we not only breathe into our lungs, we breathe into our torso. And breathing into our torso brings us into our armpits and our thigh sockets that really enable us to move the legs and the arms. to allow them to move with the breath and be supported by the breath. And then see if you can imagine your pelvis like a bowl so that the outer edges are softening, the rim softens, and the content softens. See if you can soften the front of the rib cage, the sides of the rib cage, backs of the rib cage. Perhaps you can feel the ribs wrap around your sides, front, and then softening in the front. And your shoulder girdle. See if you can feel the upper chest is softening. Collarbones soften out to the tips of the shoulders. And then the shoulder blades soften, widen, smooth out towards the pelvis. Collarbone notches soften, the throat soften, back of the neck softens and lengthens. Base of the head is softening, your scalp softens. Your forehead widens and softens. Your temples are soft. Space between the eyebrows are softening. Your eyeballs rest into your eye socket. Your cheeks are softening. Your jaw softens. Your chin is softening and your tongue rests into the lower palate. I want you to just notice what's happening in the core and the center of your body. Perhaps you can take your awareness into your tailbone and then all the way up to your head. How does the space between the tail and the head feel at the moment? Just noticing. And then perhaps you can allow the breath to really move in that space. So when you inhale, the space between the head and the tail, it's a little bit lengthened, and when you exhale, it all softens in towards the center. And notice your pelvis and how your legs extend from the pelvis, or perhaps soften in towards the pelvis. Notice your rib cage. What's the movement in the rib cage? Front of the ribs, side of the ribs, back of the ribs. And then your shoulder girdle. What's the movement or the sensation in your shoulder girdle? So your upper chest and sternum, plus your shoulder blades, plus the collarbones that run out to your shoulders. And then how do your arms down to your fingertips flow? Or is there a softening back from your fingertips into the shoulder area, the shoulder girdle? And then just notice your throat and neck. Now it connects to your head, your ears, your face. And see if you can notice your breath in your nostrils. As the cool air comes in and the warm air moves out of your nostrils. See if you can become aware of all the parts of your body that are touching a surface, that are well supported, have a feeling of stability. And then take a little scan and notice if somewhere in the body is still feeling a bit mobile, that it's not so stable. Don't try to do anything or change it, just notice. You might begin to notice that your breath is what's really mobile. That your chest and your belly might be rising with your breath, or your rib cage is moving, mobile. You might notice that because your hands aren't touching the ground, that it's only a part of the hand that's into the ground and feels really stable. Just pay attention to where you're feeling that stability in the body, and where you might be feeling a bit of mobility. See if you can really soften from your thighs into your thigh sockets, into your pelvis. And see if your arms can soften into your armpits, into your shoulder girdle. See if your throat can soften into the back of your neck. And see if your face can soften into the back of your head and into your ears. Just feel into the abdominals, underneath the rib cage, all the organs that are in there that are supported in that hole. So in that front cavity underneath the rib cage, in that abdominal area, see if you can begin to feel your breath, all those internal organs beginning to soften. Fill in that abdominal cavity, create some space so that the back body that supports your front abdominal cavity softens and widens. You can feel into the rib cage where the lungs and the heart are supported. And see if you can feel the diaphragm softening. And moving up to the collarbone area, see if you can feel widening out the chest through the collarbones to the shoulder tip. Collarbone notches that are right at the base of your throat, that whole area soften. The neck softens and lengthens. Your scalp is softening. Forehead widens and softening. Space between the eyebrows widens and softens. Your eyes rest into the eye socket. Your cheeks are softening. Your jaw softened. And your chin is softening. Focusing on some basic poses that were about opening the backs of the legs, about finding some balance, about finding some core support. Just notice the breathing at your nostrils. Can you feel air moving into one nostril, or can you feel it moving into both nostrils? Just notice what you notice. No judgment, no right, no wrong. Just awareness. As you inhale, exhale. See if you can soften both of your legs into the mat. Your toes all the way up to your eye sockets. Your legs soften. See if you can soften your arms from your fingertips all the way into your shoulder girdle, to your shoulder socket, so that the arms soften from the fingers into the shoulder girdle. See if you can soften from your pelvic girdle and your lower spine all the way through the rib cage up to your shoulder girdle, upper spine, so that your whole torso softens into the mat, into the ground. Throat soften, back of the neck softens and lengthens, base of the head soften, Your scalp is softening, forehead widened and softened. Your temples softened, space between the eyebrows widened and softened. Eye sockets, your eyes rest into your eye socket. Your cheeks are softening, your jaw softened, your chin softens, and your tongue rests into the lower palate. And then notice you can soften your breath a little bit. And begin to feel more weight in your body. And you feel gravity just receiving the body. Can you begin to feel the back side of your body widening more into the floor, into the yoga mat. Really spreading. And notice if there's a spot that doesn't want to let go or spread into gravity. Just take your breath or your imagined breath into that area. See if you can really spread it into gravity. See if you can feel the front part of your body softening into the back of your body. So the toes and the feet soften. Fronts of the feet soften to the backs of the feet, the heels, the shins, knees, and thighs, all softening to the backs of the legs. The front of the pelvis softens to the back of the pelvis. The belly softens back to the spine. Front of the rib cage softens to the back of the rib cage. Upper chest softens to the back of the shoulders. Throat softens back to the back of the neck. And the face is softening back to the ears and the back of the head. Perhaps your palms soften back to the backs of the hands. Top of the wrist softens to the back of the wrists. Inner forearm softens to the back of the forearm. Inner elbow softens to the point of the elbow. Upper arm soften back to the back of the arm. And the fronts of the shoulders soften to the backs of the shoulders. And then slowly begin to deepen your breath, bringing in a bit more breath. Stretch into the body, into your fingers, your toes. Maybe you do a big stretch before you come up to sitting. And then when you come up to sitting, just notice how you are. And have a beautiful day. And thank you for coming. Namaste.